You're watching the Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, Marina ManLand. And with us, we have the founder, board-certified plastic surgeon, Dr. Grant Stevens. Dr. Stevens, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Randy.
So ManLand, you have a tag for this. What is it?
Yes, Marina ManLand, where a man can feel good about looking great.
Okay, now you have a big surgery center in Marina Del Rey. Why this ManLand? How did you come up with this?
Well, we've been in Marina Del Rey for almost 30 years now, and I'm a board-certified plastic surgeon, and as I think you know, and most of your viewers, we started non-surgical cosmetic and aesthetic medical services back in 1989. Historically, only 10% of our consumers have been men. 90% have been women. And that's true across the United States. That's not just true of me. But back in 2010, when we started Coolsculpting, and doing freeze the fat, you know that thing where you freeze the fat and you get skinny? A lot of the people coming in for that were men. And
so men are freezing off their love handles.
They want non-surgical fat reduction. So the look of my waiting room, my reception area changed dramatically. Instead of 9 women and 1 guy, we were almost 50-50. The whole Marina plastic surgery reception area changed by 2012.
Okay.
So I started interviewing these guys, and because they're hooked up, getting their fat frozen, and they're stuck for an hour or two. Where can you get a guy to sit still for an hour? Yeah. Guys don't sit still, right? Yeah. But I plug them in to freeze the fat and Coolsculpting, and get a chance. Hey, I introduce myself. What would you like to hear about? What do you know about? What's going on? What do you like? What do you not like? I learned a lot of things.
What'd they say?
Well, I learned that men don't like to sit on couches. They like to sit on leather chairs or single chairs. They don't particularly like the smell of my office. They didn't. They don't like the colors. Those feminine colors, they don't turn them on. Men want more hair on their heads and less hair on their backs.
Okay.
Men don't want pain. They don't want anyone to know they're there. They hate the word Botox. They'd like to learn about breast implants. These are all questionnaires I gave them. And so I got to thinking, I've got to build a place that's guy-friendly, not girl-unfriendly, but guy-friendly, private, fun to go to, smells like something a guy would like, looks like a place you'd go. I thought a sports bar,
Is that
flat
right?
screens everywhere, kind of a cigar loungy kind of sports bar.
You pumped in special aromas even.
Yeah. So I'm big into smells and so forth, and I've done actually some research on auditory stimulation, but olfactory stimulation, but we won't go into that right now. But what guy doesn't like the smell of a new car? So I pump in a proprietary smell that's new car leather and 2 other things that will remain in my head and not for you to know. But it's a smell that guys love. And the primary smell is new car leather. And when they walk in, they're like, hey, this smells good.
So you pick up on it right off the bat.
They don't know what they're picking up on. They pick up on the fact that they like where they're at, they like the smell, they like the environment. What guys don't like flat screens? And I'm not suggesting women don't, but in the men's room, we have a restroom. We have 3 other restrooms in the office. We have one there in ManLand that's for men. It says men's room. We have a stand-up urinal. And above the stand-up urinal is a 24-inch flat screen with the Sports Illustrated bathing suit edition, round the clock. Because what guy wouldn't like pretty-looking girls? And they're stuck there doing their thing, and so
this place is busy. I mean, you're
very busy.
Packed.
We've got leather on the walls. We've got hardwood, darkwood floors, copper ceilings, photographs and art and sports memorabilia that guys like. Again, it's not female unfriendly. Some women prefer to go to ManLand.
They do?
Yeah, they'll actually ask for it. I don't encourage it, but if they ask for it, we take them there. The thing is, we have dual sculpting, which is 2 Coolsculpting machines in every room, because the centerpiece really started with Coolsculpting, right? With freeze the fat, lose an inch or 2 while you're waiting, and then we built on that. I mentioned that guys want more hair on their head and less hair on the back. I don't have either issue, so I started researching it. And we then incorporated NeoGraft for male hair replacement, which I hope we can talk about, and then this Vectus laser to remove the hair on their back. The significance of that is the laser hair removal system we have for men is the fastest laser hair removal system in the world. I can remove all the hair off a hairy guy's back in 10 minutes.
Really?
They need to come 5 times. But the cool thing is, no anesthesia, no topical goop.
So 10 minutes, they go in.
Guys usually hate to come in, take off their shirt, get that goop,
I heard it's painful.
wait an hour and all that crap. With Vectus, with the laser hair removal system we have in Marina ManLand, they come in, they might freeze the fat, and before they leave, we do their back. They come back in a month later, we do it again. Again, it's 5 times, but it's 10 minutes each time. Now their back is smooth as silk. So no more gorilla back. They are hairy, the bear back. In fact, the room we use is called the bear's lair. Every room in ManLand has a name. The bear's lair, where we have a lot of sports stuff and everything. We've got the laser hair removal system called Vectus and 2 Coolsculpting. So a guy could come in, freeze the fat, lose his love handles, get his back done, and then Carla or Corey or one of the lovely women there might put some Botox or some filler, but we don't call it Botox, we call it Brotox.
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 So for people just tuning in, ManLand is the place to go when a man wants to look younger or look his best.
Yes.
Or slow the aging process or
reverse it.
So you're doing all of the minimally invasive, non-invasive procedures?
Yes.
With
and
hair
we also
removal?
do surgery, but there
Okay.
in ManLand, it's sort of the gateway drug. In ManLand, we've got all the non-surgicals.
Because it can be embarrassing or intimidating, I should say,
Yeah.
to walk into one of these surgery centers.
But no longer.
So
They're coming
ManLand is
into
the place.
ManLand where a man can feel good about looking great. They get off the elevator, you can smell the new car leather almost when you get off the elevator.
So what are the demographics? I mean, just everyday people, or is it
Yeah.
mostly just business people?
Oh, it's everyday people also. I've got construction workers and lawyers. Are lawyers everyday people? We've got lawyers and dentists and entertainers like yourself and bankers and professionals, real estate people, guys all over. You know, the common thing is they want to look better. They might want to look younger. Maybe they're in the dating scene. Maybe they're getting discriminated against because they're starting to look tired. But they don't want anyone to know they're there. And oh, by the way, they don't want to hurt. They don't want to sit with a bunch of women on couches. They don't want to smell this foo-foo stuff in the office. They think plastic surgery practices are just where you go and there's a bunch of
And you have
mums.
men working in there as well?
We have men and women working
Okay.
there. And they're made to feel very comfortable. We get them something to drink. No, we don't have beers. But we
Do they
get 'em
want
some-
beer? I'm sure they want
We've
beer.
had guys ask for it, but it's a medical establishment. We don't do that. Get them something to eat, make them comfortable. The reception area has got leather chairs in it. You can go to marinamanland.com and look at it. We've got a fake buffalo head. We've got all the paneling.
Looks like a hangout. Like a
It
club
is a hangout.
almost.
It is a hangout. They watch ESPN or the news or CNBC. In every room, I mentioned there's the lion's den. The lion's den is where we do the neograft. The bear's lair, where we take the hair off your back.
Okay, neograft, by the way, is hair transplant. Is that right?
Yeah, but it's a very specialized hair replacement.
Okay.
It's brand new. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we could start there.
Okay, well, neograft is fantastic, and I hope your listeners know about it. It's where we take them out one by one. We don't cut anymore. It's non-surgical, and none of that Barbie doll business. So we take the hair out from the back with this neograft machine very meticulously, 1 out of 10 hairs. Put them over here. The guy's on his stomach. Takes maybe a half a day to get them all, the ones we want. Then we flip him over. He goes to lunch right there. We bring him lunch. He's watching television, watching a movie, working on his iPad, whatever he wants to be doing. Flip him over, all under local anesthesia. He's not asleep. Then we put him in one by one and recreate the hairline. And it's unbelievable. Again, no scarring, no bleeding, no recovery to speak of, no numbness, no baldness. You know, have you ever seen guys with a bald stripe in the back?
Well, I've seen ads where people get that.
Yeah, we've eliminated that. It's unbelievable.
So this is the next new thing for
It's
hair
the only
transplant.
way to do hair replacement.
So a man could go in there. He's in his 40s, 50s. Everybody's losing a little bit of hair.
Sure.
Everybody starts getting hair on their back. Everybody's starting to drop a little bit. So you can go in there and kind of get a makeover. If that's what you
non-surgical.
wanted.
No one even has to know.
Now, one thing, you made a bold statement on one of my shows. I've had you on other shows. where you said you could take like a 40-year-old woman or 40-year-old man, and if they go to you a couple times a year, 3 times a year, you could give them a reversal in appearance and then hold them there.
Absolutely.
Into their 60s.
Absolutely.
Maybe 70s.
I've already done it.
Is that right?
No question about it. We can reverse it and hold them. Now, they're going to have a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
It's not just all on me. Obviously, they have to have reasonable genetics, but a healthy lifestyle. We want them to, drink plenty of fluids, stay away from tobacco products, eat a good healthy diet, exercise, and so forth. But they don't have to be Superman. Okay? We all have our little issues. And they'll hang out with us 2 to 3, 4 times a year. We'll do facials, laser hair removal if that's their issue, put some hair on their head, get rid of their fat. Coming in and having a little Botox, or as we call it there, Brotox. Isn't that bad? You get rid of the frown lines here, maybe some of the wrinkles here or here. Just subtle. It's all about looking natural. Guys come in, they want to look better, but the emphasis on looking natural. We all know about the guy who's on every magazine who's had too much plastic surgery and looks too feminine. Yeah. Or the guys who's had the facelifts and their faces are all cattywampus. And no one wants to look like that. They want to look great.
Like natural.
Natural. That's the key word.
I don't want to be feminized. If I were to go to ManLand,
you want to be a man, but you want to be a good-looking guy. It's not about being a pretty boy.
Celebrities that we see that look great for 50, great for 55.
Mm-hmm. Or 60 or 65.
So they're all doing a little bit of it, and we have to be careful here, but most of them are doing this non-invasive stuff.
Yeah.
Like lasers and this Ultherapy.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, let's take Ultherapy. So a guy comes in, he's got a little paunch going, he gets Coolsculpting. While he's there, let's say he gets the facial. And maybe he has some hair off his back. Maybe he comes back and has some hair on his head, but he says, hey, I got a little bit of this jowly stuff. He has Ultherapy or Ultherapy.
Explain that. We haven't talked about this on this program. Ultherapy. You say this is really changed the way you do, how you treat people.
Yeah. Well, Ultherapy uses ultrasound. It's non-surgical, so there's no cutting. And we do it topically. It tightens the skin. It lifts the skin. It creates new collagen.
So it's a radio frequency.
No, not radio frequency. It's ultrasound.
Ultrasound.
We also have radio frequency devices there. We have the Thermage. We have the X-List. We have the Venus Freeze. We do have the radio frequency devices. So we're not a one-trick pony. We do have all of them. What I've found is the Ultherapy and the Ulthera now is the most effective. I can deliver it at 3 levels. So it's like a 3-level facelift. I can actually visualize where I normally work when I'm doing facelifts. I am a surgeon.
Yeah.
I'm a plastic surgeon by training. I love these non-surgicals, but I think of things surgically. And when I do Ulthera, I can work at the same level that I lift the deep tissue when I do a face and neck lift.
So jowls and neck, you could
absolutely lift them up.
Really?
And we create new collagen and elastin, and guys look fresher, brighter, lifted without looking done. They don't look like those actors you see on these programs that look too effeminate. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and these guys that have their faces distorted or plumped up with too much filler. I mean, that's all over Hollywood. Guys look ridiculous.
You can spot it.
Oh, of course. But I think most people can spot it. It just looks odd.
So this Ultherapy, they go in, unlike laser, there's no downtime.
None.
And it lifts, tightens. Mm-hmm. You say it even gives a bit of a brow.
Yeah, if you do it in the forehead, the brow will lift up. You'll look a little more rested. Your eyes don't look quite so tired. No more grandpa comments. You kind of look youthful. But it's not one-stop shopping. It's not one thing. You might have brown spots. We take care of those. You might have some red broken capillaries. I know I had some broken capillaries on the side of my nose. Those little red funny things. I had those removed.
So moving over to this, and you mentioned it, this Coolsculpting, where you actually freeze fat like love handles, men's breasts.
Right, moobs.
Okay.
The dreaded moobs.
How does this work, and does it work?
Well, does Coolsculpting work? Absolutely it works. What does it do? It freezes the fat. You eliminate the fat naturally. It takes about 2 to 3 months to see the final results. I have 9 machines. I've done over 13,000 treatments over a 5-year period. It absolutely works. I was the first patient treated in the Marina and my offices. As I mentioned, we have thousands of happy patients. It selectively kills the fat without killing the skin or the bone or the muscle and so forth. There's no downtime. There's no anesthesia. It's permanent. You can check out the undeniable results if you go to freezethefat.com.
You did it yourself.
I did it. I was patient number 1. I'm in here somewhere.
You have a photo. Are you willing to show that photo? Take a look at this photo. This is you.
Okay.
You're
so
in
this
there.
is me. I'm patient 1. I'm happy. It's right there on my website. It says Dr. Stevens. There it is. After 1 treatment, and then after 2 treatments.
And I know your age, and you look, almost 20 years younger than your age. But so this isn't really a fatty back, but it's just gravity has kind of dropped it. So this is just Coolsculpting.
Just Coolsculpting.
It's like a perfectly smooth back.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it'll last.
Yeah, it's permanent. Once you've lost the fat, it doesn't come back.
So those fat cells are killed
They are
from
gone,
the freezing.
just like liposuction. They are out of your body. You eliminate them naturally. You just eliminate them in your digestive tract.
You told me they can go there and watch sports or whatever.
Let me tell you
lose
about that.
weight.
Since we have flat screens in every single room, some guys come in, they'll watch Monday Night Football. Where else can you watch 2-3 hours of football and lose an inch or 2, right? So we also, Ann comes in and we watch college football on Saturdays and we watch NFL football on Sundays. Basketball season's coming up. And guys want to come in and watch basketball games, they can sit there, be hooked up, lose an inch or 2 of fat while watching the game. We're not serving beer. We will serve them some popcorn if they'd like.
Does it hurt?
No. First it kind of sucks it in. It's a little cold at first, a little startling. With 5 minutes or so, you don't feel anything. You should try it. It's unbelievable.
Go over to ManLand.
Marina ManLand, where a man can feel good about looking great. Let me show you another one. Most guys come in like Beto here, and they don't like the love handles, and they don't like a little bit of this beer belly.
Yeah.
You know Beto, he works out. Beto Duran, he's on ESPN. He tweets about this. Yeah. He came in, we froze his fat at Marina ManLand, and he lost almost 4 inches. It's unbelievable. And he tweeted about it. He talks about it on the news, on the radio show on ESPN right here in LA.
So once they start this, like with little things, is that how it happens? Like a little bit of Botox. Then they're there.
Brotox.
Brotox. Once they start doing it, then they get kind of the bug. They want to take care of themselves.
It usually starts with Coolsculpting. And that's sort of the gateway drug, if you will. And after that, it kind of demystifies the experience. Guys are sitting around yucking it up, talking about ball games. Hey, what are you in for? It's like you're in the penitentiary. I'm in for a little Brotox. What are you in for? I'm in for a little this or that. Laser hair removal or mirror dry. The guys that don't want to pit out.
Yeah, what's that? What's that?
So a lot of guys are concerned about perspiration. You know, maybe they're lawyers giving closing arguments, or maybe they're you on the television and stuff. And they're tired maybe of just pitting out their jackets or their shirts. And now we have a revolutionary way to eliminate sweat and odor. So it's called Mirror Dry, M-I-R-A-D-R-Y.
What's the mechanism? How does it work?
It uses electromagnetic and sound waves that actually goes through the skin and kills the sweat glands, the sweat cells that are called eccrine and apocrine glands. We have glands that make sweat, right? Some of them make sweat for just regular perspiration. Some is the odorous perspiration, 2 different ones. And this Mirror Dry knocks out both of them. So, for instance, lovely Carla, who treats people. Carla actually threw away her antiperspirant. I couldn't believe it. She told me she wears none.
So you don't even need deodorant.
Well,
some people don't need deodorant.
I don't. Yeah, I've never done it.
Because if you're not sweating at all.
Right.
Interesting.
But I have numerous people who tell me they've thrown away the deodorant. They don't want to stain their blouses or their shirts. They're concerned about the aluminum in their deodorant. There's a lot of reasons why people are getting Mirror Dry. But guys come in. You ask about what they come in for. They come in for Coolsculpting. Then they talk to their buddies. They're sitting there, newfound buddies, right, in ManLand. And what are you in for? Well, I don't want to sweat. I'm a lawyer. This happened the other day. That's why I bring it up. I do closing arguments, and I'm pitted out, and the jury doesn't take me seriously. And the guy says, really? You can actually get rid of sweat? So then next thing I know, he's asking me about sweat, and then asked me about NeoGraft, and that's what happened the other day. Guy came in for NeoGraft, and then he was asking me about Mirror Dry.
NeoGraft is where they get their hair back.
Yeah, they get their hair back without any cutting. There's no cutting, no downtime, no bleeding, no anesthesia. It's an absolute miracle for these guys who are bald or going bald.
Men have actually needed this, I think. A place they could go where they don't feel uncomfortable.
Where?
At ManLand, right? Marina ManLand.
Where a man can feel good about looking great.
Is that going to pick up?
Well, that's my mantra. I made it up, and that's hopefully that'll be my tagline.
So with this sweat thing, I mean, everybody would love not to ever sweat under their arms, right?
Sure.
How many treatments? How long does it take?
I'm glad you asked me that. It's 2 treatments. Takes about an hour to do one, and we wait 2 or 3 months between the 2. We don't have anybody that done 3. There'd be no reason why you couldn't do 3, but we've had people that don't need 3. In fact, no one has. We have a few people that didn't need the second one, who only got treated once. People have been very happy. Our own staff members have been treated. I have not been. It's one of the few things I haven't tried.
Are you going to do it?
I'm going to. I'm going to try it because I want to see what it's all about. I don't have that problem. Some people have a problem with sweat. Let's talk about that. There's a medical problem called hyperhidrosis axilli, meaning you're sweating too much in your armpits, right? You can treat that with Botox, but a bunch of needles in your arm. I don't know about you. I'm not so keen on needles. But with Dry, you can treat this hyperhidrosis axilli and stop this profuse sweating some people get.
And it's supposed to last forever?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, long-term results, hasn't been around forever, but the long-term results are over 4 to 5 years. So we don't know if it's going to be forever, but long-term meaning more than 2 or 3 years.
Do you have packages like if you go to ManLand and it's like a menu?
Yeah. If you buy one here, one like a Chinese menu, you mean? One of A, one of B, one of C.
I mean, do you have something like that?
What we do is we do package, because if you're there already, and if you're getting Coolsculpting, we give market discounts for other things you're doing. Because you're there already. We package things.
Now, with that Coolsculpting, arms, can you do arms on the men? Do they ever do that?
I've not had a man do his arms. Most men want to keep their arms, their guns. I mean, women do their arms, their bat wings, their bingo wings. Women do this all the time. Men love to do their tummies, their abdomen. Their love handles are probably the most common thing. And then the dreaded boobs, those man boobs. You can actually freeze
tell me about that.
Okay, so a lot of guys, especially middle-aged guys or guys who gain a little weight, they get these man boobs, too much fat in their chest. And so we do Coolsculpting, and we'll do that like one here and one applicator.
Well, how does that work, by the way?
It sucks it right in, it freezes it, and the fat dies. 25 to 30% dies, and their chest
so there's
gets
a lot of people with man boobs. So this is the hot thing to do. Go in. They're there an hour, in and out in an hour?
It's the hot, non-surgical approach. If you want instant gratification, get liposuction of your chest. That's the fastest and maybe the easiest, if you think about it, way to get rid of man boobs. However, a lot of guys don't want liposuction. They don't want anesthesia. They don't want the stigma, the recovery, the pain. So hook them up to Coolsculpting. If you have 2 machines, you can do both in an hour. Most guys will do that, and their love handles are there for a couple hours.
Do you ever make an appearance in, because I know you're busy doing surgery all the time. Do you walk into ManLand?
I hang out there.
Oh, really?
I see patients there, for starters. The men I see there, so I'm there all the time.
Because everybody knows you.
But if you're looking for me, if you're looking for me in our offices, and I'm not in my office, go down to ManLand. I'll be down there hanging with the guys. I'll be putting my feet up, watching the news or watching the sports event, and just BSing with the guys.
So you hang out
I
at
prefer being in ManLand. I built it for myself and all my guy friends. I feel very comfortable in
So can you
ManLand.
take a guy 60 years old and make him look 10 years younger?
You mean like me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's easy.
Okay.
That's an easy part. That's.
We are almost out of time. Are you seeing a trend now, moving on to surgical procedures, these men that are now doing facial procedures? Mm-hmm. And tell me about that. And what are they?
Well, I told you that the entry level was Coolsculpting and then the dual sculpting, and then we started ManLand because guys wanted to hear about other things. Well, what I found, a lot of these same guys are seeing the picture books and they're seeing the other men coming through, and they're asking me about surgery. So what I'm seeing is an increased amount of male plastic surgery. So it used to be 10% of my facelifts. It's now 20% of my facelifts. So I have guys coming in, and they're learning about this stuff, and they say, hey, I talked to the guy out there. He said he had a turkey gobbler. One guy said, I've got more chins than a Chinese phone book. So, like on this guy, he said, I want to get rid of my chins. I want to get rid of my neck.
Very nice.
Okay. I've got guys like this who come in, same sort of deal, and there's this frontal view, but we also did non-surgicals on him. We call that the icing on the cake, where we do things on him after surgery to take away brown spots and red spots. I want you to look at this guy. He looks very natural. You can't tell that I did surgery except that his jowls are gone, his turkey gobbler is gone, that area where we age, that's improved dramatically, and he still has his normal look. People aren't going to say he doesn't look like himself. He looks like a refined.
It doesn't look feminine.
No, not at all. Not at all. And we also do it in guys with short hair. Notice this guy here, and he's got a fair amount of pigment in his skin. And he's a great candidate. And if you look hard,
so you cleaned up his neck. That's what you did for him?
Cleaned up his neck, but we also cleaned up his eyes a little bit. And yet very natural. You can't tell that we've done anything. He just looked like a fresher version of himself.
Because people are working, in their 60s, 70s.
Oh yeah, they're working way past the traditional 65.
So you want to hire somebody that's fresh and looks fresh at least.
Well, this recession brought out a lot of that business about, I wear my resume on my face. A lot of guys were hatcheted because they look tired. And they a lot of problems with that. A lot of guys walk in, they say, I don't want to look like I'm tired. Or I'm not tired, but I look like I'm tired. Or I look old and I don't feel old. I hear that a lot from guys.
So more and more surgical procedures.
A lot more. So we're doing face and neck lifts, eyelid surgery. Some of the guys are actually having tummy tucks. So you might think, what? But a lot of guys have gotten in shape, they've lost weight, and they've got this extra little inner tube over their belt. So I do a fair number of even tummy tucks on guys.
And for weight loss surgery or after?
Yeah, well, certainly after the weight loss surgery, or like the lap bands and that sort of thing.
But just regular guys that can't
getting
get
in
rid of that
shape
overhead.
and they're going, damn, I hate this thing. I just want to get rid of that too.
All right, we're out of time. ManLand.
No way, we're not out of time yet, are we?
Marina ManLand.
Where a man can feel good about looking great.
Who should go there? Who's the ideal person? Like when you built this, you said, this is what I want.
Well, I could start by saying any guy that wants to look and feel as good as he can. It's about coming in and no matter what age. I don't care if you're in your 20s or your 80s. I've got 20-year-olds and I've got buddies who are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. And remember, most of this is non-surgical. ManLand is all non-surgical and addresses men's unique needs. Men have different skin. They have different needs and desires than women. We all want to look good, but I don't want to look like a woman, and a woman doesn't want to look like me. So Marina ManLand is geared to the unique needs of a man where he can feel good about being there. It feels like an environment he'd hang out with his buddies.
Well, we're out of time. So if they want to look at these photos,
they can go to marinamanland.com or Marina Plastic Surgery. They're all there online.
Okay, Marina ManLand. This is the next big thing.
I hope so.
All right, I want to thank you for coming on the show. Very good, very good. You're watching The Wellness Hour. I'm Randy Alvarez. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.